If you've never seen yourself surfing before, I would highly recommend it. You see what you're doing wrong over and over again, and that repetition then just like helps you build skill. The program here at Surf Simply is like nothing else. I'm an engineer by trade, and I love how detailed and precise it is. That is pretty cool to find. You think you probably go to a lot of places and there's coaching, and they have ways to talk about it, but here they've really boiled it down into a science, which I really appreciate. You can tell that a ton of thought went into the program, a ton of thought went into like thinking about how you progress and how you can quickly build skill, and I think that's awesome.
When I was about 12 years old in Puerto Rico, I used to go to the beach all the time.
¿Cómo estás, amiga? ¿Todo bien hoy?
Todo súper.
And then life got in the way, then I started working, I got a wife, moved to New York City, I had kids, then I moved to Florida, and the ocean was closer, so I took it up again.
I found out about this place from my dad here. I started surfing with him maybe 20 years ago. To be here and experience this week with him here was just wonderful, and sharing his passion that he's always had was a really special time.
3 years ago, like right after the pandemic, I think back then there wasn't a lot to do. It was outside, it was gorgeous. You could be out in the sunset, you could be in the water, and it's beautiful. It's absolutely beautiful.
That was a sick one. I love that carve to the beach you did at the end of the wave though.
Nunca tuve una buena preparación. Siempre fue como muy aventado todo. Creo que tenía un poco de traumas con toda esta cosa de que te revuelque la ola y que se te vaya la tabla y te pegue y todo.
A lot of my friends in Mexico surf, and I just would go with them to very wild waves and would get wiped out all the time.
I started surfing like 10 years ago, and why? Because I was on vacation in France. Yeah, I did it for 1 or 2 hours, 3 days, and okay, it's very difficult, but it's addictive.
We've been surfing for about 8 years, and the motivation was to get out and try something new. Best part about being in the ocean is you have to be present. You can't be thinking about anything else except what's going on and the wave that's coming at you. And then the fun of catching a wave were really the two pieces that have just kept me coming back.
We really treasured the chance to keep coming back and working on skills and having what is just the most amazing week in the water you could possibly have.
I started here. I've never done any type of surfing. It's always great to learn a new sport.
My first 2 experiences with Surf Simply were just, over the top and like the best times ever. And so I was like, no, I just keep coming back here. And in fact, I'm probably gonna come back again.
So the great thing is you just keep moving up the tree of knowledge and keep finding what's the piece holding you back. Pop-up is always a challenge for me. And so how do I get really good on a wave in whether I'm lying on the board on one knee and one foot or standing? And it's been really great because whether it was Harry this time or Derek last time, it's been kind of exploring slightly different versions of that, but it just felt so freaking good.
I was with Teal this week and I had such a good time.
I love what I'm seeing with this surfboard right here. You're on the trim button, you've got the nose down, hips are forward, stance looks amazing.
It's great because I've come back a couple of times now, and so every time I feel like I get to build on what I learned last time.
Mi coach fue Eduardo. Tuvo muchísima paciencia, creo que nos animó muchísimo a salir a las olas.
Right, tail spin looking will be rotating way more and the turn will be much more smooth. So yeah, that's really the only difference. You're doing a great job on the knees, on the arms, on the chest. It's just looking where you want to go. That's a very important aspect.
Me dio muchísima seguridad para poder hacerlo y lo logré. Entonces estoy muy contenta.
He really walked us through all of the mechanics and basics of standing up on a board, surfing through the white water, trimming, and
She's learning all those terms pretty
yeah, I never heard these terms before this week.
My native language is not Spanish or English, it's German. And I was really lucky that Marlon is native German speaker as well.
Step, wer Gewicht auf den Fußzehen ein bisschen, genau, bis das Board in die Richtung dreht. Schritt Nummer 3, neutral.
My coach was Derek.
When the wave stands up, the lip of the wave, which is this part right here, it gets a little more thin, so when the wind blows really strong, it'll just take the lip of the wave and peel it back towards the horizon. So again, if there is going to be wind, we want it to be offshore.
Every coach teaches through the same pedagogy. I'm not sure it really matters which coach you get because they're all fantastic.
Me encantó la vibra que tienen todos. Siento que son un equipo espectacular. Todos te apoyan, todos son súper buena onda, todos te animan a que sigas adelante. Creo que me encantó eso, me encantó que aunque sea como un surf de camp medio intenso, te cuidan físicamente, o sea, como que no es nada más el aporreamiento físico, sino también como toda esta parte como holística de vamos a darte un masaje. Está muy rico que te puedas echar tus drinks en la noche también como para relajarte un poco. La comida riquísima, riquísima, de verdad.
The food, come on, come on. I mean, the food is unbelievably spectacular, like it just always is. And it's something that we were laughing with some of the other guests about just how amazing every meal is, the care that goes into every meal, the sense of just being supported and cared for when you're coming on water and everybody's tired and sore. And then there's just this moment of getting to gather together and talk to each other and really treasure this experience together.
And I really love the community, right? The people who show up to Surf Simply care about learning something new. They're invested. They put a lot of thought into getting here for this week. And this group was no exception. It was so many lovely people. And so it was fun to gather around the table and get to know everyone.
I'm from the Bay Area and I've made a couple friends here. You know, they live pretty close by to me and we might actually surf after this, which is pretty cool. I might actually have some new friends.
And these are all people who come from all different walks of life, all different career paths, but they're all here for the love of surfing and just to learn.